Even
Ready?
though we're in California.
Quo.
Oh, I love that little foreshadow of what we're covering today. Hi, everybody. I'm Denny Directo with my girl, Zima, and this is ET Live at Home.
Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. So we are back to bring you the entertainment and pop culture news you need to have a little escapist fun during the pandemic.
Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out which webcam to use. I was looking over here, you guys. I apologize. Hello.
Yes, we have new equipment now. I'll go ahead and show you guys. We have new mics. This is called a snowball, so I'm happy to have my ball.
So we sound gorgeous. What are we getting into today?
Yes, let's talk about Kaley Cuoco and Karl Cook. Oh, they're married, but they're finally moving in together. We'll tell you why. And from a married couple to a blended family, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, how they are making the most of the quarantine. What else, Denny?
Meanwhile, Chrissy Teigen tweeted that she watched Mrs. Doubtfire for the first time, which shook me. But you know what? It appears there are some movies that you and I and everybody is watching for the first time in quarantine. We'll get into that. And also why the hashtag Cuomo-sexual was trending on Twitter yesterday. Okay, first let's start with the vibe check, Lauren, because it finally happened, girl. I had a dream that I got the Rona, and it was not fun. And also, I was like in a suit or like a tux at an award show, which of course, we are on red carpets all the time for work, but I was stressed out. The good news is the next day I was like fine, but it was not fun. It finally happened.
That really tracks for you to have your dream that way. Yeah, I've been, I saw that you responded to my tweet. I tweeted, raise your hand if you can't sleep, have nightmares when you do sleep, and cry every other day for no reason.
Oh God. Is you okay?
Well, you responded with, no, I mean, I'm having a hard time sleeping. And I think what is actually adding to that is I keep thinking about getting it. And Chris Cuomo, we're going to talk about the Cuomos later, but Chris Cuomo said it really comes out at night. So I think that's adding to my stress, is thinking that like when you get it, it gets really bad at night. But you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah. You're going to be fine.
I'm fine.
It's like sometimes you do have to unplug and not watch everything and read up on everything, because it will get you and you'll hold on to it. You need some welcome distractions throughout the week. Okay. And thankfully you have your boo, right? Okay. How are things going, girl? This will help us get into our first story about Kaley and her husband, Karl Cook.
Good. Yesterday was good. We had some good apart time, and I went on a walk by myself. You know what is helping me is to listen to stuff that I listened to before and that has nothing to do with everything. I listened to this podcast, The Rewatchables, and I just went back and went to an old episode and listened to them talk about a movie. But, we've been forced by the pandemic to move in together. We were already in a serious, loving relationship, but here we are. We had kind of very actively chosen to live apart, actually. And now we're together, and I would much rather be with my boo, Chris Harrison, than alone. But I am not the only one this has happened to.
No, I was going to say, Kaley Cuoco and Karl Cook, they've been married as long as you and Chris Harrison have been dating, which is wild to think. And they haven't lived together or been under the same roof until now because of quarantine. And apparently she told Jimmy Kimmel that's going well. Take a look.
So we've been married for a year and a half, been together for almost 4 years. And this quarantine has forced us to actually move in together. It's been great for our relationship, and we like each other, we realize.
I remember this making headlines when she revealed that they were married but not living together, because everyone's like, that's so wild. How can you go ahead and commit your whole life to somebody and still be living apart? But I also recall thinking that it was pretty genius, because I think that's the thing, you want to commit to someone, but you want to keep the relationship feeling new and fresh and flirtatious and to keep dating each other. And I think when you live together, some of that stuff just automatically goes away. It's impossible to avoid. But, now we have the pandemic, but I'm glad it's going well.
It's forcing couples to be together finally, in the same proximity, the same living quarters. Well, she had said that reportedly that they were busy building their dream home. And so they didn't move in together yet. And of course, she has work that takes her all over the country. He has work here in LA. And then she also did mention that they do have an unconventional marriage, but it's not the first or last couple that we've heard that they don't live together. Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk, they also were living in separate homes. But again, the quarantine is forcing these couples to become bunker mates, to become roommates for the first time. And it's a learning experience, a good one though, at least in my case. Something I've learned throughout this process, and also speaking to Jay Shetty, it's like you kind of have to respect the work time as separate time. Also respect the time when you do need space. Hell, getting a second TV in the room was such a good idea. I get to go watch my shows in the bedroom. He's reading his book out here, which is amazing. But then it's important to like actually still spend that quality time together and make sure it's like that quality time, whether you set up a date night or you decide to watch a movie and say no phones. Like I'm finding that the key, and this is going to sound obvious, but is communication.
Yeah, I think it's also about trying to set up, which it sounds like you guys are doing, but trying to set up time apart, like time to miss each other, because I keep reminding myself that this isn't normal and that this isn't forever. Like we liked that we missed each other before and together and told each other about our days and had other interactions and experiences to discuss with each other. And now we don't have that. So I'm really trying to make sure that that time apart is happening, that we still miss each other. And I will say, I interviewed for ET recently, relationship expert Matthew Hussey, and he made such a good point, which I am so on board with, and I'm actually grateful this job makes me do. But he said, for everybody who's at home and like kind of laughing about being in their sweatpants, you still got to look good for your partner. You know, you still need to put on some makeup, get yourself together. He put it really well.
You hear that, babe? I have this job, you know, I have to.
We're on camera.
Yeah.
But he put it really well. He said, make a moment. You know, he said, even if you kind of go get ready in another bathroom or go get ready in another room and don't get ready together and then like, you know, see each other for the first time at dinner, like make a reveal happen, try to make it as much like a real date as possible and remind yourself that this isn't normal. Remind yourself that this isn't forever. And it kind of is something you have to get through right now. Like, I know we're trying to encourage everybody to adjust, but at the same time, you don't have to adjust to make this permanent, you know? So that's like something I keep telling myself. On the one hand, we're all going through so many similar things. On the other hand, everybody's family is unique. But like you and I are in, you know, serious relationships. We're not married. Like we don't personally have kids, but there's so many blended families out there. Like, you know, Chris is divorced and he has 2 kids. And so, like we just all had to talk about how are we all quarantining to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. And I think all blended families have to do that. And how about this picture of Demi Moore and Bruce Willis? I love this. It's the whole fam bam together during the pandemic times. I know they've stayed close over the years. They have their 3 daughters together, very famous Hollywood exes, but I love these pictures.
It's so cute, and like it also goes to show you, like, you know, it's work to get that place. And I know that they have been split for so long, but they're at that place where they can literally quarantine together, wear the matching pajamas as a blended family, smile for the cameras. It's kind of beautiful, and it makes honestly being contained and quarantined and isolated a little bit easier because you're surrounded by your loved ones. But it is amazing because Bruce, of course, has been married to Emma Hemming Willis for like 11 years, I believe. And they have 2 daughters together. And there's literally a photo from one of the Willis sisters, like daughters, I should say, birthdays where they're all taking a photo together. And I think that's so beautiful. But I know that those kind of relationships are being tested during this time, but it looks like it's going pretty well for them. I'm not going to lie.
I know. So did they say kind of how they are quarantining?
No, I don't even know. Like, that's the other thing. It's like, they can't be all in the same house, but maybe they, after 14 days, they're kind of just like bouncing between houses. It's unclear. And honestly, we should say we don't know for sure if that is a recent photo, but we do know that obviously that they're spending some time together. And the matching pajamas, I think, is a great idea, really. Come here. You know, I have a little surprise for you, Lauren. We did it! It just makes...
How cute is this?
Wait, speak to the microphone.
So cute.
It just makes, you know, quarantine so much more fun.
When did you buy those?
Where did I get these?
Yes. When?
Shein. Oh,
Shein.
It's Shein. We got them like it took a couple weeks to get here, but they arrived yesterday. I go, perfect timing, okay?
It's perfect.
Listen, quarantine for the gram. What do you think I have this shop
And
for?
for Coachella this weekend. Coachella.
Oh my God. And for Couchella. All right. Like you said, like even though we're in pajamas, make it fashion. Make it a moment.
Wow. Bruce and Demi are shaking.
I didn't want to tell you we were doing that.
That was amazing.
Okay, so I want to talk about this next story because I was so shocked. Chrissy Teigen, who's been providing so much quarantine content for us, she tweeted that she was watching Mrs. Doubtfire for the very first time. And she goes, I know. Like she goes, it's one of those movies that I needed to watch. Her reaction was priceless because she goes, wait, you're telling me that this man dressed as the family's nanny to get closer to his kids and the family didn't know? And it just got me thinking, like, are there any movies that you revisited or are watching for the first time?
Yes. Okay. So we watched Field of Dreams the other night, which is one of Chris Harrison's favorite films. Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, the baseball movie.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it and I'm like, is this a horror film? I'm like, there's all these ghosts out in a cornfield. Only this guy can see them. And he doesn't know when they're gonna come. It's like nighttime and the ghosts are out. Like, this is scary. And he's like, babe, this is like a feel-good movie about father-son relationships and baseball. Like, I don't think so, man. I think you don't know when a freaking ghost is coming out in your backyard. Your kid sees the ghost. His little girl in the movie sees the ghost. And how are all of his neighbors not like, you're insane?
Talking to a ghost.
Yeah, like at one point in the movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie from 25 years ago.
No, I actually haven't.
Kevin
But do it.
Costner's brother suddenly starts to see the ghost, and he's just like, oh my gosh, this is great. And he does it like, I would be, you'd freak out. You'd lose it, right? If you and your family all of a sudden thought you saw these. I just thought it was wild. I'm like, this isn't a feel-good movie. This is a mystery thriller horror film.
Wait, was there like a M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end or something? Because this does sound creepy. I've never seen it.
No twist. It also ends really sort of randomly and abruptly. We had words about it.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
I do, it's like, do movies hold up or not? Yes, they're kind of still classics, but like, do you love it because of the nostalgia factor? What about you?
Sometimes I feel you because they're classics, but sometimes it's hard to suspend your disbelief a little bit. And that's kind of what happened with me when I watched Notting Hill for the first time, which, by the way, ask anyone, rom-coms are my favorite genre. Like I'm a hopeless romantic, so I love those movies. I've seen so many, but I've never seen Notting Hill until last week.
I can't believe that, but go on.
Everyone loves Notting Hill. It was a fine film. I love Hugh Grant. Julia Roberts is a queen of all time, one of my favorite actresses. But I had a problem with her character. She plays this movie star. She's treating Hugh Grant like dirt the entire time. She lies. She's acting uninterested, then shows up at his door whenever she needs him. And I just felt like she did not deserve him at the end. I thought it was so problematic. I'm like, just because she's a movie star, she gets a pass for how she treated you so poorly. And I know it's all building up to like this end scene, this iconic scene in the bookstore where she finally opens up her heart. It's like, I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love me. Like, I get it, but I don't think the payoff was good enough. I go, Hugh, you broke like a twig, and for what? I deserve much more than that. I didn't agree.
Wow, when you put it like that, she was a liar. She was still in a relationship with Alec Baldwin, and then she's with, wow.
Is she just kissing a stranger she met all but an hour ago? I'm sorry. Spilling
honestly, girl, not even the safest choice.
So I might have problems with Notting Hill, but we want to know what you guys are watching. So make sure you head over to Entertainment Tonight's Instagram. That's at Entertainment Tonight. We have a nice little Couchella lineup, and we want to know what you're watching on the various platforms: Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, YouTube, and what you're recommending for everyone. And make sure you guys share. We want to know what you're watching and what should we watch. Help us.
Love, yes. Give us the recs.
This man, YouTuber Randy Rainbow, he really spoke to me. I feel seen and heard because he did this parody video. It's hilarious about his newfound love for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. If you guys haven't seen it yet, let's take a look.
Andy, can't you see I'm in quarantine? A nervous wreck and skirt as heck of COVID-19. You're not nice coronavirus, but you bring hope when I can't cope. I guess I'm saying I love you so. Oh, Andy.
But we actually got a chance to chat with Randy himself about his viral video, and here's what he said and where his love for Andrew Cuomo came from.
I never knew the love that I had for him. Like many New Yorkers and people around the world, I just sort of, I have been watching him handle this thing the way he has been, and it's just sort of been an instant love affair with him. People have opinions about things, so what I would say is it's not necessarily a specific endorsement of every policy, or or anything like that. It's simply, I think, an endorsement of the things that people have fallen in love with about Andy Cuomo. Here, I call him Andy. Here in New York and around the world, really, which are, leadership and compassion and civility at a time when we need it most.
How did we not think of Cuomo sexual sooner?
It's so good. So yeah, he tweeted the video out using the hashtag Cuomosexual, and it went viral. It was trending on Twitter all of what day is it? On Monday. And
it's only the 6th day of the week, believe it or not.
Right. And I was like, this comes after, by the way, Chelsea Handler had penned an open love letter to Governor Cuomo for Vogue.com saying that she would love to be his first lady. And look, politics aside, I mean, he's showing up like the Incredible Hulk in his tight polo shirts, coming to save the state of New York. Sign me up. I'm from California, and even I have no choice but to stand.
I'm ready for Sandra Lee, his ex-girlfriend, to spill all the Cuomo tea. Did you see? She debunked there was some kind of myth that he had a nipple ring, I think, because everybody's really analyzing him in the press conferences. And she was like, no, that's not true. They were together for a long time, but I love the idea of him and Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, right?
I mean, we know he's got a sense of humor. He makes those jokes with Chris, his brother, during the press conferences, which are a nice little silver lining to me. Interesting.
By the way,
wow.
Chris got a shout out in Randy's video, because I was going to say, Chris is the original, number one Cuomo. Right?
No, Andrew's coming now as a zaddy for sure.
Ooh, you damn zaddy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I've got so much credit.
My friend Michelle Collins, by the way, if you've heard of her, she's a Sirius XM show. She's been a Cuomo fan for years, and she's now going on. She tweeted, "Why is everybody coming for my man?"
Because she's standing for a while, right?
Yeah, she's like, okay, you're all jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah,
why not?
I also wonder, do we have quarantine goggles though? Is it just because we're not exposed to a lot of people and we're just seeing him up on our screens every single day?
Did you just coin a new term? That's amazing. Quarantine goggles. I didn't even think about it. No, well, the answer to that for me is I only have eyes for one person. He's in the room, Lauren. He's in the room. So I'm good. I'll watch Cuomo from afar. I can't hear you. I'm just a boy standing in front of my screen asking the world to love me. Okay, I'm done.
All right, let's end on that note.
Yeah.
Natties aside, I love your matching jammies.
Thank you.
Can you just peek his head in just a little bit for just one last shot of those? It's amazing.
We're so cute.
They look fatty and delicious. You look like the Kardashians.
Thank you. So we live for that. Thank you so much. Can't wait to take photos. Follow me on Instagram at Directo for all of the quarantine boyfriend content.
All right. I love you. I will see you tomorrow.
Bye. Stay
strong. And, let me know who else you see through quarantine goggles.
On it. Bye, guys.
Bye.